Nice day out. About 79 degrees. Better than all the other days. I don't know how to make this. I don't know how to make this video at all. I don't even know how to even begin it. So it has come to my attention. A lot of people have not been watching my videos anymore and have not been commenting or anything or checking on me. I made a post last night about my Discord and what's been going on. So, am I quitting YouTube? That is a big question, and it has been on my mind for about a week now. I honestly do not know. There's been a lot of things going on where most of them I can't handle. Most of them I can't, I can, So I don't know. It's, like I said, it's been on my mind for about a week or two. A lot of personal stuff came up, and one of them is actually scary. And I don't want to get into it, but it has to deal with me, and something I'm battling right now. Oh, my camera's screwing up. But back to the question at mind. Do I quit YouTube or do I keep going, posting videos, but make it more interesting to draw more attention? Most of the years, I've been on here for 4 years now. Most of it's been fun, most of it's been okay. A lot of it's been talking to someone that would help with depression or, just physical stuff that's been going on. But I don't know if I want to quit YouTube or not. It's, like I said, it's been on my mind for a week. I've thought about it. Mainly the reason why, I wouldn't say I would want to quit, but for my health and a lot that's been going on, I will probably step away from YouTube for a while. Not forever, just for a bit. And it's hard to talk about. Some things make sense. A lot of people don't understand what's been going on behind the scenes of the decorating, the haunted house, the donation stuff and all that, and etc., etc. But like I said, I made a post last night about Discord. But I just have gotten more depressed recently, and basically not on life itself. But due to just basic stuff, everyday stuff that's been going on for the past week, that has been very, very sketchy, or I wouldn't even say sketchy, but very hard to put my finger on type things, if someone has a problem, that it will start with one problem and then completely go in opposite direction you don't think it would go, But like I was saying, it's where it's getting hard to maintain a smile and hide what's been going on. So I'm just going to be straight with everybody. I'm going to be technically, you know, I'll just be straight up honest. I am going to step away from YouTube for a while, but I'll be back. And I am as straight as can be. If anyone asks, I'm straight. But it draws my attention to where if I make a post or I post a video, nobody obviously watches it, nobody cares, no one comments on it, except for like maybe one or two people. That's it. So I don't know if it's the content I'm bringing out, or it's the way I video things, or you know, stuff like that. It's complicated. I'm from Lawton, Oklahoma, if anyone wonders. But it's hard to explain because people have these things where they start to, how would I say, like drift away or completely go insane. If that makes sense. And no, I'm not going insane. I would hope not anytime soon. But it's came to my attention. It's been getting harder because I've been struggling with a mental illness. I wouldn't even call it mental illness. I mean, I guess you could. But it's mainly like depression and stuff like that. Or some days I think I'm going to have a great day, and then it just does not turn out like it should or how it would have went. Hi, Ashley. But yeah, it's getting complicated because making videos is fun. I like doing what I do. It's just I'm losing, I wouldn't even say losing interest in the whole thing, but I don't know. I'm going to end up probably going to see a doctor at some point to see how I can fix this depression stuff I've got going on. Me and my mother's relationship's not good. Me and my dad's relationship, like son and father's, not good either. My sister left the picture, my dad left the picture. It's me and my mom. So you can already see where a bunch of things are going to be happening at some point in time where it's not the right point of view for so basically, let's say if we get into an argument, I have one way to do it, she has a whole different other way, which I'm fine with, but some decisions find work that you like. I've tried that and it's okay. Like I've focused on music more than anything. Obviously decorating is one of my top things that I do all the time. But music would be a thing, but I just don't know if anyone would ever listen to it or even have an interest. So I've decided to work on something that has been in the shadows for a very long time. And I don't know if I just want to bump it out there to see if anyone would like it or anyone would, you know. It's hard to forget about it because it's an everyday thing. If I try to forget about it, I think about something else and then it triggers it. Or if I'm thinking of like, I don't know, some days there's like a quiet time and it triggers it. It's like bad memories. So basically, when I was younger, I wouldn't say abused by my father, but me and him got into physical fist fights, you could say. Very bad fist fights. Reason that being is because he had anger issues when he was in the military, and it obviously, he you know, like, PTSD basically is short term of it for him. But it's like ever since he left, it's just been in the back of my mind, like, did I do something wrong? Or did I trigger him to leave? Like my sister, did I trigger her to leave the family? And I hate that because I feel like it is my fault. Some days I wish I could turn back the time and fix all the mess that was created, you know. But I basically feel like a monster walking around, and to be honest with you, it's been a struggle. So back then I thought maybe YouTube would help fix everything, and it did for a while. So when I started buying the blow-ups and everything and all the decorations, I thought this could be like a good thing to get away from it all. But it was for 2 years, and then it triggered again this year. But I've been on here for 4 years. So in the hot scheme of things, you could say that it was triggered by a past experience with my father that I can't really get away from it. We can't choose our parents. We aim the parents that we have. That is true, but you know, it's like just like family. You know, some of my family's not around me anymore. Some of them have died. Some of them have died. Some of them have passed away. Some of them died from sickness or just had a real terrible fallout, you know. But like last year, I lost a very close family member of mine, and it triggered something that I didn't think that would be fixable or even have the chance to comprehend, you know. But in the scheme of things, it's like, basically, let's say if you put two bulls in a pen, they're gonna fight each other no matter what. Like, you can piss one off so bad, it will still just, you know, it'll still probably fuck you up in the worst parts of it all. But it's like being single, for instance. You find someone you love, you take them for a while, then they treat you like shit, then they leave, or the other way around, where you feel like you're doing the right thing but you're not, and then they leave you. You know what I mean? It's like you can't win at certain things anymore. And if you could, you would. If you can't, you just can't do it. You know? But it's like the harder it gets, the more frustrating it gets, the more irritated you get, you know? And that's why I started a Discord where if people have mental illness or, you know, like just not thinking straight, that's why I started it all. And there's another Cybertruck. Wow. I don't always see them things running around town anymore. There's like 3 of them. But you can't physically fix that until it's too late, or your mind plays tricks on you and you can't forget about it. It's very tough to I wouldn't say underestimate it, but sometimes you can you can just pull the trigger and it'll be fine. And then some days it's like you load it and then it's like, well, do I bite the bullet and take this, or do I just put it away and hide it behind a smile? And that's what I've been doing for so many years. I've always hid it behind a smile, which my mother said is never healthy for me. And she's not lying. It's not healthy for you at all. You know, it makes it tougher to understand. Like, you know, you never judge a book by its cover, but it's like, well, damn, if I do, you know, what's the consequences of the actions that I've brought on myself? And it's a whole different other thing, you know? It like triggers it, and it's like, well, damn, okay. It's like, let me just write a story about the whole thing that's happened, and then rewind it, fix it, you know, and then you can't, and then you look back at yourself after so many years, you're like, damn, have I changed? And people do. Not even like that, but like you became the most, I wouldn't say sweetest person, but like back then I was really sweet. I was really kind to people. And now I feel like I'm just a monster that hides in a body that doesn't want to be let out. You know, like it's trapped behind chains and it wants out, but it doesn't. There's the other part of me that's like, don't let it out. Because if I let it out, it's a whole different me. And people have seen my other half of me, and some people are afraid of me. I just don't understand, you know? But back to the whole quitting YouTube, I really don't want to, but there's a part of me that's like, take a minute to yourself and just fix everything and just start all over, you know? But I wish I could really turn back time when I was younger and fix, you know? And I've left friends behind. I've left people, like people have turned away from me because they're like, you're not how you used to be. You're not how you acted when I remember you when you were little. You know what I mean? Like, it just triggers something that it's like physically like, you know, there's no illness, there's only laziness and thoughts about the past. That's true, but the doctor did diagnose me with depression, and being with that as I take it, because the other day I went there, and he's like, well, I hate to tell you this, but you have, like, he asked me questions, you know, like, he's like, have you ever had a bad past? I'm like, yes. He goes, okay. He writes it down. The next thing he asks me, did your family and you ever get into physical fights, hurting people? Yes. And then he looked at me and he goes, okay, well, he's like, have you ever thought of hurting somebody? And I'm like, no. He's like, well, that's a start, you know? I'm like, there's some days I do. And he's like, but see, he's like, you told me that you didn't have those thoughts, but then there's some days that you do. And it's like, well, I mean, you know, you're like, well, I can't even fix it unless I really want to, where it tears your insides out. And you're like, well, damn, okay. Well, if I do that, then it's going to cause another issue, or someone else is going to be like, well, this and this and this, you know, or like, well, that can't be good, but okay, that's good for you. You know what I mean? There's like so many things that it's like, I just want to quit. I want to give up on life. I want to give up on everything that I've worked hard for. And I know that that's not the way out, but as I see it for myself, it's like, well, if you do that, will anyone remember you? Will someone forget about you? And I think to myself, I'm like, well, okay, there's another problem, you know? Like, I don't even know how to even physically say it without even it being, like, for example, as an example, if I died tomorrow, would anybody remember me? Or would anybody ever come see me, you know? And I'm like, well, they would, but would they remember who I was? Like, they're like, oh, well, that's the guy that used to be the monster, you know? He's like mean and grumpy and everything. He's not the same as when he was little. And I don't want to be remembered as that if I ever did. Like, if I ever died, I would want to be remembered as the most sweetest, kind person that ever, being honestly, like, not forgettable or whatever. And there's some days where it feels like the day just gets slower and you're not doing nothing with your life. I guess you could say that too, being another example of figuratively of doing it. Just forgetting about it. And you're like, well, damn, I can't Like, I can't sit at my desk and look at my camera and be like telling thousands of people, oh, this is what goes on in my life. You know, or like, this is what happens on the scale of things when I'm home alone, or, you know, not doing anything. And I'm not the only one that's noticed it. A good friend of mine that I work with said that I've changed. I'm not the person that I used to be anymore. And it hurts me that someone that is very close to me says that. It really does. Because it feels like I've worked hard for it and people beat me down. And I know that people do that every day. You know, they'll beat you down for it. And you're like, well, wait a minute. Why can't you just physically fix it, be done with it, move on? You know? I gotta check something real quick. But yeah, you know, it's hard to explain. It's basically like taking a big metal axe and hitting yourself in the head real damn hard. You know? Well, I'm trying to get home while talking. Oh, it's tiring. But yeah, that's what it's like. It doesn't mean that I'm going to go away from YouTube, but I have a Discord. If you look back at the post that I made last night, that is my actual Discord. And if you want to talk to me, I would love that, because I feel like I'm alone. I do. I feel like I'm just supposed to be locked away, you know? And it's not like I don't get out of the house. I do. It's just it's a very rare occasion. Like, I want to stay inside. I don't want to be out in the real world. Like, I'm not ready for it. And I'll be 23. No, I'm sorry, 24 this year. And I'm just like, well, half my life's basically gone down the drain. I've stayed at home and not did nothing. You know, like, I haven't went out and explored the world like I want to. Or like I would have wanted to, really. Like, the only places I've ever been out of Lawton was Galveston, Dallas, and that was it. In my hometown, obviously, where I came from. I'm not from here. But it's a whole different story for another day, you know. Hold on, someone just texted me. Oh, wow, look at that. It's health plan. Wow, like, I need that. Text me about a health plan. I don't want that. Who knows? Maybe it'd be good for me to be locked in a padded room for a year. That's right. Been there, done that. Besides that, you know, I have been put away in a behavior, like, basically a behavior center. I will never go down that path again. But that kind of helped it. But then basically the story was I got physical with my sister and almost choked her to death. If you ever heard that, if I was ever in front of you and I said that to you, you would have been like, okay, this guy's a creep. Or like, oh, okay, this guy is like mentally or physically something's wrong with this guy, you know? And it's not that. I have really bad temper, you know? I can fix that. I can try, you know, like, this year hasn't been that bad. Even though it's the start of a year, it hasn't been that great. Not obviously anger, but it's depression now. It's like depression's kicking its ass. It's like, oh, I don't want to be angry anymore. I just want to be depressed. Like, okay, yeah, you win at that one. You know, like, okay, you win. But, my legs are so sore from walking, good Lord. But it's like that. And people, like, the first impressions people see me, they're like, I don't want to be around this guy. Or, I don't want to be with him. Or, like, I don't want to be a part of his life. Or, I don't want to marry him. Or, I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, you go down all these fucking paths and shit, and it physically gets worse after so many years. And then you just drop off the end like a cliff. You know, you just fall right out. That being said, I'm going to step away from YouTube for a while. It'll probably be a good week, unless I don't last. It might be like 2 days. Yes, I have heard about that. I have went to church before. You know, it's helped. I will be honest, I've not been in church in over 2 years, which is bad about that, you know. I want to get back into it. And, you know, I do believe in God, and I do believe in when we die, we go somewhere else. And I'm scared of that. A lot of people probably are, and some people just don't show it, which, mind you, is understandable. It's always understandable about that. But yeah, mentally, physically, I feel like I'm just unstable, if that makes sense. It probably won't. It probably will, you know. Well, you have a point, but some people are afraid to show it. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, oh, I ain't scared to. And then when you leave them, you know, they have second thoughts and like, well, I try to be tough, but I am. You know what I mean? I've met people like that. Exactly. You totally understand it as well, so it ain't just me. Because I've ran into people that are like, oh, I ain't scared to die. And I'm like, double check yourself, because God's listening. You know, if you do drop one day, then, well, you brought that on yourself, you know. That being said, you know, physically, I'm just having a bad day today. That's probably really the reason what it is. But, yeah, but when they come into that point, yeah, exactly. When they come to that point, they're just like, well, it done screwed myself, you know. Or it's too late to take it back, and you're like, well, I told that guy not to say that, or not to be scared of it, you know. And then it happens, you're like, well, there's the flat truth, you know. It's like, yeah, okay, he's right, you know. But like, I'm trying to, I wouldn't even say expand my friendships outside of my globe, but I really want to have new friends because I don't have many. The only people that are my friends is my aunt and uncle. That's about it. Except for Uncle Tom, that's a different one too. That's still a whole different thing that they come by, and they're like, well, you know, you can't sit behind a camera all day and video and post on YouTube and think everything's fine in the world. And I get that too, you know, that's not how it works. And some people it does. Yeah, same brother, I'm usually alone as well. Well, makes two of us. But like I said, I do have a Discord. It is in my post on my channel. So if you do want to chat and become friends, or you have anyone that's lonely, don't have friends, or just wants to talk, I'm basically opening my arms up to people that need help. And I feel like that's probably one of the best things to do at the moment, as is. Well, as it could be, I guess. I don't even know what to even say after the fact that that's been said and done. After I've been blabbering almost about an hour. No, I'm sorry, 29 minutes, almost 30 minutes of blabbering. Well, in my neighborhood, there's not a lot of good people, except for maybe 2 or 3. And some people I don't know, and some people are shady. So, also that being said and out the way, as you can hear, how would I say that I'm too shy to talk to women. I'm too shy to talk to men. I'm too shy to basically talk to anybody. And that has been a real bad challenge ever since I was little, you know. Um, just like flirting. I don't know how people do it. They can flirt with someone, they win them over. Me, I try it, nope, not gonna work. Or like, oh, well, this and that, no, this, you know. But I just am tired of hiding behind a smile, behind the camera, and then I get off the camera, act like everything's okay, and it's not, you know. It's been like that for probably the past 3 years. Like the first year I started YouTube, it was good. Okay, hold on, let me read this real quick. Some people are just like that. They're scared to approach, but yes. But they change in that community. At least that's what I'm trying to do. Well, that's good. You know, we need more people like that in the world. We need more people that can get out and, you know, love each other and be good friends and not try to like kill, stab, or hurt or run over people, you know. Especially with what's going on in our world now. And God would probably frown upon that, and He probably is right now, you know. Like, oh, well, I did not create the world to be like this, you know. God doesn't, like for instance, God didn't want us to build a house. God didn't want us to cut trees down and destroy His world, but we're doing it. And I think that's wrong of us, you know. I feel like that's wrong for Him because in the beginning, there was nothing here except for trees, grass. You know, there's no like concrete. There was no like smoke and stuff. There was no like diesel and stuff going up into the air and polluting places and lakes, rivers, and all that. You know, I feel like that's really wrong. That just makes sense as well as being trapped and not wanting to get out much anymore. But my dad is supposed to randomly show up today, which scares me. I don't know why he would want to come down to Lawton. And he lives all the way down in, not Walters, where is that? I can't even think of it. It's not Walters, it's like probably another hour or two away, maybe. Yes, I understand. See, that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. Like, they even asking me, what do you do off of YouTube? What do you do off your camera? You just shut it off and sit there and think to yourself? You know, I'm like, I guess that's the only way that, you know, it makes sense. Hold on, y'all. But yeah. But yesterday, my phone allows me. Oh, it did. Okay. Shit kicked me off. Okay, I'm back. That it kicked me off for some reason. I don't even know, now I remember where I was even saying all that now. Oh, yeah. So, short mind. Tell me about it. I'm almost home anyway. But, it's been a couple days, you know, what's been going on. I'm about to get to my house. I went for a walk today. Me and my mother had a big argument, so I decided to walk home. I know that sounds terrible, but we just don't get along like we used to anymore, especially when I was younger. So yeah, what I was saying was it's not that I don't like being on YouTube. I love being on YouTube. I love expressing how I feel. You know, I gotta get into my house. It's hot. It's hot as hell. There's my Valentine's Day stuff and my leprechaun out here. I decided to put them out too. But Basically, it is dark in my house as well. What is it? A coinkydink. There it is. Like I was saying though, it's been a while since I've talked to the camera, you know. So good to be home. I gotta pump my back. I will be right back. I gotta go do something real quick. I gotta check something while I'm home. Okay. I'm back. I had to look for something real quick. I forgot what I was looking for. But yeah. So I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna relax for the rest of the day. Follow me on Discord if you guys like. It is in my post. Just follow me on Discord if you want. It's in the post or whatever on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna get off here because I'm very tired. I just got home from walking. Almost 2 miles, it felt like. Probably was 2 miles, maybe 3. It basically took me about 55 minutes to get home. So yeah. I will, thank you. You too. Y'all be safe out there. I'm gonna get off here. I will see y'all guys later. Yes, it's on my channel here. It's in my post if you look on my post.